Mr. Edwards. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm DCI Janet Reed. I think you've already met my colleague, DS Lucy Collins.
Yes. Can I go now? I've been here for bloody hours. I've had a hell of a shock. I'm tired and I really want to go home.
I appreciate that, Mr. Edwards. I really do. But I just want to run through your statement one more time, just to make sure that I understand everything. Okay? So I'll be as quick as I can.
Okay. But please crack on, will you? This has been dragging on for hours now.
Understood, Mr. Edwards. We're going to turn the recording machine on now. Thanks for this, and just to remind you that this is a voluntary interview, so you are free to go at any time. Do you understand?
Yes.
So this interview is being digitally recorded, and it may be given in evidence if the case is brought to trial. I am Detective Chief Inspector Janet Reed. This is an interview with Mr. Keith Edwards at Radcliffe Road Police Station, Thursday the 4th of March at 1:40 a.m. The other officer present is
Detective Sergeant Lucy Collins.
Please state your full name and date of birth, Mr. Edwards.
Keith John Edwards, 14th of March 1958.
Thank you, Mr. Edwards. So before we start, I'll remind you, you are entitled to a solicitor, so do you want to have one present?
No, I don't need a lawyer. As I told the other officer, I'm just a witness, so just get on with it, will you?
Okay, well let's proceed then, and I'll just caution you, you do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you fail to mention when questioned something which you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. Sergeant, would you briefly recap for us Mr. Edwards' earlier statement, please?
Yes, ma'am. According to your statement, Mr. Edwards, the sequence of events was as follows. You had arranged to meet Mr. Geoffrey Stevens yesterday evening at 10 p.m. in the car park at the back of Costa Coffee on the High Street. You state that as you approached Mr. Stevens, a third man, who you took to be Middle East in appearance, appeared demanding money and he had a knife. Mr. Stevens challenged the man and there was a struggle during which Mr. Stevens received a stab wound to his stomach and fell to the ground. At this point, the assailant seemed to panic and attempted to flee the scene, but he was apprehended by a group of 4 men who were just entering the car park. You attempted to administer assistance to Mr. Stevens, who was bleeding profusely and had lost consciousness, hence the blood on your coat and gloves, which are with forensics. The assailant, with the victim's blood still on his hands, was restrained by the 4 men, who then summoned the police and an ambulance, which arrived within minutes. When they arrived, you handed the knife to the police.
Thank you, Sergeant. And that is precisely as it happened. Is it, Mr. Edwards?
Yes. Like I told the other officer, that's exactly what happened. He said it was an open shut case. I mean, you've got the culprit literally red-handed.
I see. Well, there are, though, just a couple of details I'd like to discuss with you. So we now know the identity of the alleged assailant, one Yusuf Jamil, a Syrian refugee.
Oh, I see.
So, Mr. Edwards, you say that this was a robbery, but there was no money found on Mr. Jamil.
No, of course not. Like I said, he just panicked and ran off. To be fair, I don't think he meant to kill anybody. I think it was an accident, a robbery gone wrong, you might say.
Right. And when he fled, he left the knife at the scene?
Yes, like I said, he was in panic mode.
And you picked up the knife?
Too bloody right I did, just in case he ran back towards me.
Mr. Jamil's fingerprints were not found on the knife. And that's odd, isn't it? Because he wasn't wearing gloves when he was detained.
Maybe he wiped them off.
Before dropping the knife?
Must have, I suppose.
Well, you see, that's something that puzzles me.
What do you mean?
Well, I can't help but wonder what he could have wiped the knife on.
Well, maybe he wiped them on a cloth. Or a handkerchief.
Well, I assume you didn't see him do that, or else you'd have mentioned it in your statement.
Well, it was dark. I must have missed it, okay? Look, I had a dying man in front of me on the ground, and that's what was taking up my attention.
Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about why you were there. What was the reason for your meeting with Jeffrey Stevens?
It was a business meeting. I run a carpet and tile flooring shop in town. The Stevens family have a chain of them in the Midlands. We were talking about the possibility of his firm buying my business.
I see. But is it normal for meetings like that to take place at 10 p.m. in a car park?
Look, we're both busy men. We both just happened to be in town last night on a business. So we agreed to meet up for a quick chat afterwards. That's all.
Right. And this deal, I imagine it's fairly lucrative?
Yeah, I suppose you could say that. We're discussing a price of 400 grand.
I see. Since your earlier interview, Sergeant Collins here has been looking into your financial affairs, Mr. Edwards. So would you be so good as to share your findings with the Sergeant?
Yes, ma'am. According to the accounts, Mr. Edwards, for the past 2 years your business has been making some substantial losses. The balance sheet shows that there's bank loans of in excess of 200,000.
Well, times have been tough. And there's a cost of living crisis too, in case you hadn't noticed.
Well, according to your wife, Mr. Edwards, you had an interest-only mortgage of 250,000 on your house and personal bank loans totaling 40,000. Is that correct?
Yes, I've got a few cash flow issues at the moment. That's why I'm looking to sell the business. But that's got sod all to do with some stranger stabbing Jeffrey Stevens.
This deal with Mr. Stevens, how close were you to concluding it?
Pretty close, I suppose. It was going through the legal process.
But it wasn't Jeffrey Stevens that you were negotiating with, was it, Mr. Edwards?
Excuse me?
Well, Sergeant Collins here has spoken with Jeffrey's brother, Howard, and he tells us that it's him you were dealing with.
Yeah, Howard is quite keen for it to go through. He's the real brains of the business. He's really keen on the deal.
Well, Howard Stevens tells us that Jeffrey Stevens didn't like the idea at all and actually was against the deal. He's a senior partner and he didn't want to sanction that deal at all.
Yeah, I was aware he'd said that. That's probably some negotiating tactic. Which is why I wanted to talk to him. But what's any of this got to do with last night?
Well, for one thing, it goes to motive.
Motive? What on earth are you implying?
Well, I'm merely stating the facts, Mr. Edwards, because you are in considerable financial difficulties. And it looks like this deal is absolutely crucial to you. And yet, Jeffrey Stevens was standing in the way of it going through. To many people, that would look like a very powerful motive. Don't you agree?
That's speculation. Pure and simple, Inspector. I've given you the facts. What more do you want?
Well, with respect, you've given us your version of the facts, Mr. Edwards, but we've now employed the services of an interpreter, and he's spoken to Mr. Jamil, and Mr. Jamil has a very different recollection of events.
Really?
Yeah, it seems that he's a very frightened man. He's here illegally, he speaks not a word of English, which is interesting, isn't it, because you said that he approached you demanding cash.
Well, you hardly need to be a professor of English to memorise a phrase like, give me your cash.
Is that what he said to you? Give me your cash?
Oh, I think so, yes.
But no, that's not what you said in your statement. You said he approached you demanding money. So are you now recalling his actual words?
Well, I don't think the actual exact words matters, do they? I mean, the point is, he threatened us with a knife. Anyway, why is this so important? I've told you what happened.
Well, yes, you have indeed. But according to him, He entered the car park looking for a doorway to sleep in overnight because, you see, he's homeless.
Ah, right. Well, that explains why he's after money. That's your motive right there.
Perhaps. But he goes on to say that when he entered the car park, he saw a man on the ground in obvious distress, ran over to try to administer some help to him, picking up some blood on his hands in the process, and at that point he noticed you, he claims, emerging from the shadows with a knife in your hand. So alarmed, he runs, only to be apprehended by the group of men who had just come into the car park. That's his story.
Well, I suppose he had to say something to try and save his skin. I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to be his word against mine. And who are you going to believe? A penniless illegal immigrant or a well-known local businessman?
Well, there was one other person present.
What are you talking about?
Oh, Mr. Stevens, of course.
Stevens? But I thought he was dead.
Did you?
Well, I assumed so. I mean, he wasn't moving, he was covered in blood. I didn't speak to the paramedics, but he looked dead to me.
Well, it's often dangerous to assume things, Mr. Edwards. I take it you're not medically trained.
No, I'm not, but he wasn't moving. I just thought he was dead.
Well, the fact is that Mr. Stevens had lapsed into a coma by the time the paramedics arrived. But he was still alive when they got him into the ambulance.
Oh, I see.
Quite. So, if I were to have a conversation with Mr. Stevens in the morning, which version of events do you think he'd confirm? Yours or Mr. Jamil's? Answer the question, please, Mr. Edwards.
Christ.
Look, I can tell you, Mr. Edwards, that judges and juries take a very dim view of defendants who lie to the police. So is there anything you want to tell us?
Oh, God.
Mr. Edwards?
Look, it was an accident, okay? I didn't mean to cause him any harm. It just happened I had the knife in my pocket. I used it at the shop for opening packaging. The thing is that Jeffrey's a bit of a hothead. We had a discussion and he got angry, very angry. He seemed to take a delight in telling me what a disastrous state my business was in. And what a lousy businessman I was. He said he would pick up my business for a song from the receivers. And then he started laughing and something in me just snapped. And the next thing I knew, he was lying on the ground and I had the knife in my hand. But it wasn't planned. You have to believe me.
Then you are confessing to the stabbing of Jeffrey Stevens.
Well, yes, but it was an accident. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm sure when you speak to Mr. Stevens in the morning, he will confirm that.
Well, that would be a rather one-sided conversation, I'm afraid.
Mr. Stevens died as the result of his injuries.
What? You bastard, you lied to me?
Not at all, Mr. Edwards. Mr. Stevens was indeed in a coma when he was taken into the ambulance, and I didn't say he was still alive now. I merely asked your opinion of what he would say if I could speak with him. He died during surgery. Keith Edwards, you are under arrest on suspicion for the murder of Jeffrey Stevens. You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned something which you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence.